Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JP the Outlaw, here to give you my review of Monday Night Raw 2018, April what's today? Oh, snap. April the 23rd. Jesus Christ. Forgive me. Pretty eventful Raw. A lot went on this Monday night as they gear up and get ready for the Greatest Royal Rumble. This will be their last show, particularly the go home show. So I expected some type of fucking foolery, some type of just idiocy across the WWE at this point, because the Greatest Royal Rumble is not an actual show. It's a glorified house show, and they're trying to build it as one of these marquee events for the Roman Initiative. It's crazy what they'll go through to get Roman liked and cheered and pushed, okay? Now, it might be me. First of all, they start the show with a lovely video package for Bruno Sammartino. We'll take a moment of silence right now to remember the man. Bruno Sammartino was one of the pioneers of wrestling in general. The 7-year reign as the WWF champion. Consecutively, there have been no longer title reigns in modern day history. So, Bruno Sammartino has done a hell of a job and left an amazing legacy for the WWF or E. But back to this Roman thing. Because you go out of that fucking lovely video package for Bruno Sammartino, please rest in peace, into a, let's say, politically charged segment with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Now, as always, Paul Heyman cuts a phenomenal promo telling him he did exactly what he said he would do as far as Brock Lesnar is concerned. He would go in to WrestleMania, completely dominate Roman Reigns, and walk out of WrestleMania as the Universal Champion, which happened. So now he's stating a claim that he will not only decimate Roman Reigns, he will leave Roman Reigns in pieces as they send him back in multiple boxes just to identify his body. Lovely promo. It's Paul Heyman. What else do you expect? But as he cuts down Roman Reigns, they veer off to the right, and it's just this small section of Roman Reigns fans going completely bananas. And it makes me feel as though the WWE, again, set these people there for that reason. We need you to cheer. Through the rest of the night, those particular fans did not do any cheering, any crowd reaction of any sort outside of Roman Reigns. Maybe something for the Samoa Joe package, because I did hear Samoa Joe, I heard Roman Reigns chants in the background of the Samoa Joe video package. But for the most part, this is just the agenda all over again. Roman doesn't say much. He comes out. He says, I'm taking the title and I'm bringing it back home come the Greatest Royal Rumble. So I am interested. Of course, the Greatest Royal Rumble has a 12 o'clock start time. If you're up, I'll try to stay up with it. We can watch it together. If you're not on Wrestling Amino, I've just created a blog of sorts where we all can communicate. If you're really a fan and you want to reach out and be a part of this, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Facebook. I'll be going over this part of the show all week. This one particular part as far as us getting together for the Greatest Royal Rumble. We lead that segment into a great match with Bobby Roode and Elias. Bobby Roode stops Elias' concert, and that preamps a match, which was one of Elias' best matches on Monday Night Raw. I really give it to him. He went the distance. The pace slowed down a little bit, but it picked right back up towards the tail end. So good job on Elias and Bobby Roode. Of course, I would have had Bobby Roode win, but they're still pushing Elias, and Bobby Roode can take a loss, so I don't see anything wrong with it. Nice video package from Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. They go into a squash match with the Ascension. Of course, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt picks up the win. Now, this in-ring segment with Kurt Angle and Sami Zayn. If you have time during the course of your day, look it up. The WWE Network, of course, has all the video clips. It's free on YouTube. Only thing you had to do is go and look this shit up. It's fucking hilarious. They throw jabs at Kurt Angle and the management of Raw and SmackDown outside of Stephanie McMahon. And also, they throw jabs at Kurt Angle as a father, stating that he desperately needs this job, and you got 5 kids instead of 6. Of course, Kevin Owens corrects Sami Zayn and says, you forgot about Jordan. He said, well, Kurt Angle forgot about him too, and I love the slapstick between these two. So there's a lot of slapstick between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Of course, Kurt Angle, a little peeved with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, makes a match for later today. Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn later in the night, which I think is, you could have main evented. This could have been your main event right here. I thought it was a pretty good match. We get a backstage segment with Seth Rollins and the rest of the Miztourage. Of course, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. They need a new leader, man. So they wanted to make Seth Rollins their new leader. They wanted to reform a new version of the Shield and also burn it down. I wouldn't mind these two teaming up with Sami Zayn. They creating a dominant foursome, and then, of course, they get involved in a Sami Zayn match or a Kevin Owens match, and getting the Intercontinental Championship maybe around Kevin Owens. I wouldn't even mind it around Sami Zayn because Kevin Owens has had the spotlight since coming to the WWE. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Intercontinental title around Sami Zayn. Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre versus Titus Worldwide. Now, of course, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre takes the win here and cuts on a fantastic promo. As far as the company, I think Drew Galloway goes to say, the only thing I see is people sitting in the back collecting a check. There's no passion. He's the shot of adrenaline that this company needed in the arm. Of course, you have Dolph Ziggler hyping it up. I didn't have backup before. Now I got this man, and this man is dangerous. I like what they're doing with Dolph and Drew Galloway. I would not mind seeing Dolph and Drew Galloway take the titles off the Broken Hardys, Broken Bray and Broken Matt. But I think that would be the next feud I would be gearing up for, and then after them, I would probably try to do Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre for the tag team championships. After the whole thing with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, I would not mind that at all. We go into a backstage segment with Chad Gable and Kurt Angle. Of course, Chad Gable asked Kurt Angle, how's Jason Jordan doing? And he says fine, he's recovering. In walks Jinder Mahal. Chad Gable tells him to have a little bit of respect. Then you see me talking right here, and flat out freaking Jinder Mahal calls him Nicholas from WrestleMania. The young man that was, won the tag team championships with Braun Strowman, which made no sense. He called him Nicholas. You're all grown up. I thought you wasn't going to come back until 2013. I thought it was one of his funnier segments. Clap it up for Jinder because I know he didn't write that line. So, it was a good delivery. Of course, they have a match. Kurt Angle breaks up the monotony. They have a match later that day. Of course, Chad Gable picks up the win over Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal, ever since moving to Raw, has gone really into jobber mode. So it wouldn't surprise me if they job him out just a little bit longer. You have a backstage segment with Ruby Riott. Nothing really to tell there. They asked, why did you attack this person last week? They explained it. No big deal. Another backstage segment with Finn Balor, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. They pretty much tried to do the same thing that they did with Seth Rollins. Tried to bring him into the fold and, make Finn Balor the new leader without Kyle Anderson and Gallows being there. They could be the new Balor Club. They go to do the Too Sweet, and Balor denies them the Too Sweet. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. Now, this match was nothing but modern day squash match. I thought it was fucking hilarious. You got bodies being thrown across the ring by both of these big guys, Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. There's one segment where Kevin Owens is on the outside, Sami Zayn is in the ring, and you got Bobby Lashley throwing him back and forth across the ring. He tags Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman comes in, clotheslines the shit out of Sami Zayn, runs out, clotheslines fucking Kevin Owens. He does that about multiple times and then drop kicks Kevin Owens, and he's completely out the match after that. And then he goes in. Sami Zayn tries to run. He sends Bobby Lashley to go get him in the middle of the ring. Bobby Lashley hits the hesitation. I think that's a suplex. Hesitation suplex and a running powerbomb from Braun Strowman. 1, 2, 3. They win the match. Now, I wouldn't mind these guys in the tag team division. I thought this was the way they were going to go WrestleMania weekend, but, you know, fuck me and my predictions, right? No Way Jose versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin told him, I want real competition. You're not on my level. Pretty much the storyline of Neville and Braun Strowman of last year. I don't mind that, though. I don't mind that for Baron Corbin, especially trying to earn his spot on a stacked Monday Night Raw roster. So, I don't mind that at all. Of course, he sneaks attack No Way Jose. I'm not really impressed with No Way Jose. He's a modern day Rosebud, so he could be done better. I'm not really impressed. You got Finn Balor and Seth Rollins versus, of course, The Miz Taraj. They pick up the win there. Nothing really to report. Decent match. And then for your main event, a 10-women tag team match, okay? So you got a 5 on one side and 5 on the other side. You had Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, the rest of the Riot Squad with Liv Morgan and Luke Owen. Fucking Liv Morgan and Logan something. I forget her name. And Ruby Riott. Also on the other side, you had Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Natty, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. Decent match here. Of course, majority of the wrestling on both sides was done by their top stars. As far as, Ember Moon got her spots in. Mickie James, also Alexa Bliss. Sasha Banks got a spot in there too. I don't remember seeing Bayley getting none. But the story of this is Natty. Of course, the Riot Squad attacks Natty. They start beating her up. Out comes Ronda Rousey looking badass. She comes in, throws, I think, Liv Morgan in the ring and hits her armbar. Mickie James into the ring and hits her armbar. And, of course, that causes them to get a disqualification. Now, a lot can be said about this. Of course, they're building Natalya up just so she can go up against Ronda Rousey on her way to the championship. So, I don't know, of course, them two being friends, of course, Natty being Ronda Rousey's trainer. I don't know how this is going to pan out in future shows, but for the most part, I wouldn't have done this. I would have started off Raw with a 10-woman tag match. I think it would have been better. I don't mind you saving all the women to the tail end, but you make the rest of the card look weaker. It's been 3 hours. There's not at least maybe 1 or 2 women segments, and then finally a 10-woman tag match. You could have sprinkled it in it. That's all I'm saying. But this is my review. I am JP the Outlaw. I will be back with news and rumors. It's going to be a funky week this week. We're also going to get a review of the greatest Royal Rumble, so stick around for that, as well as SmackDown and NXT. And we go over how are they booking these guys for the roster shakeup. We were supposed to do it last week. We'll do it this week, okay? I am JP the Outlaw. I'm out. I'm drinking me a cup of coffee, and I'm going to go to work. Peace.